You just paid $200 for a detail. $200. And in 6 days it looks exactly like it did before you paid for it, because that guy at the car wash just hosed it down, wiped it with the same dirty towel he used on the truck before yours, and called it a premium package. Yeah, I used to fall for that too. So today I'm going to show you how to get that same showroom shine, inside and out, without spending a single dollar, using stuff that's probably already sitting in your garage or under your kitchen sink right now. Stick around, because tip number 4 is the one that stops people from swirling their paint without even knowing it. And it's not just the money, honestly. Think about how many times you've dropped your car off, killed 20 minutes scrolling your phone in some waiting room that smells like stale coffee and air freshener, and then driven home wondering if they actually vacuumed under the seats or just wiped the dash and called it a day. I've been there. I used to think detailing was some kind of secret art, like these guys had a locked-away formula somewhere. Turns out, 90% of what makes a car look showroom fresh isn't some magic product, it's technique. It's knowing what order to do things in, what not to use, and a couple tricks professional detailers don't exactly advertise. Because if you knew them, you wouldn't need to pay them anymore. So by the end of this video, you're gonna have the exact same routine these guys charge $200 for, and it's gonna live in your driveway, for free, for good. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Infinite Garage, the channel where we treat your car like it actually matters. Because it does. Whether you're daily driving a beat-up Civic or babying a weekend Mustang, the process is the same, and today we're doing the whole thing, top to bottom, exterior and interior, for $0. Let's start outside, because this is where most people mess up before they even grab a hose. First mistake, and I need you to hear this: stop using dish soap on your car. I know, your dad did it, my dad did it, everybody's dad did it. But dish soap is built to strip grease off a frying pan, which means it's also stripping the wax or sealant right off your paint. So what do you use instead? Look in your laundry room. Baby shampoo. Seriously, it's pH balanced, it's gentle, and it foams up just as nice as anything you'd buy at the auto parts store. Free, and sitting right there next to the towels. Now here's the technique that separates a real clean from a swirl mark disaster: the 2-bucket method. 1 bucket with your soap and water, 1 bucket with just clean water. You dip your wash mitt in the soap bucket, wash a panel, and before you go back for more soap, you rinse that mitt in the clean bucket first. That way you're not dragging grit and dirt back through your paint and grinding it in like sandpaper. 2 buckets, that's it. If you've only got 1 bucket sitting in your garage, grab any old container, a mop bucket, a cooler, doesn't matter, and you've got yourself a 2-bucket system for free. Start with your wheels first, and make sure they're cold. Never wash a hot wheel. The water flashes off and leaves spots, and on hot brakes it can actually warp the rotor. Wheels are the dirtiest part of the car. Brake dust, road grime, all of it. So you always want a separate mitt or sponge for wheels, so you're not transferring that filth up onto your clear coat later. Once the wheels are done, work top to bottom on the body, roof, hood, trunk. Then sides, because gravity pulls the dirt downward, so you always want to be washing the cleanest areas first. Now for drying, and this is the step everybody skips or does wrong. Do not let your car air dry in the sun. That's how you get water spots baked right into the clear coat. Grab your biggest, softest towels, old bath towels. Work fine if you don't have microfiber, and blot. Don't wipe. Blotting lifts the water up instead of dragging it across the paint like a scouring pad. Windows next. Skip the blue glass cleaner with ammonia in it. It's actually terrible for tinted windows. It breaks the tint down over time. Instead, mix white vinegar with water, about 50-50, in an old spray bottle. Wipe it on with a microfiber, buff it off with a dry one, and you'll get that streak-free glass without spending a cent. Alright, exterior's looking sharp. Let's go inside, because a clean interior is what actually makes people go, wait, is this a new car? Start with a good vacuum, and I mean everywhere under the seats, in the door pockets, that little gap where the seat meets the console where every fry you've ever eaten in this car has gone to die. If you don't own a crevice attachment, a butter knife wrapped in an old sock works shockingly well for digging crumbs out of tight seams. For the dashboard, this is where people reach for that greasy shine spray, and honestly, don't. It looks glossy for about a day, then it turns into a dust magnet and it actually causes glare on your windshield at night, which is a real safety issue. Instead, mix a tiny bit of that same baby shampoo with warm water, wipe the dash down with a damp microfiber, and you get a clean matte finish that doesn't attract every speck of dust in a 50-mile radius. Got odor problems? Before you buy some tree-shaped air freshener that just masks the smell, sprinkle baking soda on your seats and carpets. Let it sit for 20 minutes. Then vacuum it back up. It actually absorbs the odor instead of covering it up, and you've probably got an open box of it in your fridge right now. Last step, and this is the one people forget: your tires. A little bit of that leftover baby shampoo mix on a rag, wiped around the sidewalls, cuts through the brown road grime and gives you that deep black look without buying a single tire shine product. Step back and take a look at your car. That's the same shine you were paying somebody else $200 for, and you just did it in your driveway on a Saturday morning for exactly $0, using stuff you already owned. Here's the thing though, knowing the tips is only half of it. Consistency is what actually keeps your paint protected long term, and that's a whole conversation on its own. If this saved you some cash, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Drop a comment and let me know which tip you're trying first. Or if you've got a trick your family's been using for years, I read every single one. And if you're serious about keeping that paint protected for the long haul, hit subscribe and check out the next video, where I break down ceramic coatings versus wax and which one's actually worth your money. I'll see you in the next one.